expecting me?
I was not.
3 years.
Oh,
Oh,
that's our little secret right there.
I thought you'd be passing through, whatever it's about.
So I because Thomas has been staying in the car for 20 minutes, and he's supposed to come up here for some reason. I don't know.
I'm telling you. We haven't told you about this wedding yet. I'm thinking I can just replace the old voice sound with the new.
She must have the same issue.
I know, right? I tell you, I was gone.
You know,
Please do. 404-626.
we have 4 days every first. We have 4 days every first.
Is that right?
So I told my staff, I had been training her because I knew they were moving. Yeah, editing in the car.
She better get that.
Last week.
So we could
You covered that. You covered it. Well, I guess it's about to be.
Unfortunately,
No, I'm told specifically, don't shoot the other part because we want to keep it separate. So they're going to shoot there. They're going to keep it separate.
I know, he's not right.
I'm starving. I just went got some chips out of there. Yeah, because I was supposed to share, and it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, he edited it.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
We're just waiting for one more.
And now you get sure here.
This guy got really aggressive, so.
They leg shake him in.
Hey,
What's up, Tom?
What's going on with you?
I saw a friend of mine in Chicago.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he said he's coming out there. Was he? Okay. Not, well, oh, there was something like 8. Okay, yeah, he said you're.
Yeah, I
Called them and asked them.
It's fun. That place is. There's a lot going on.
We're waiting on one more person.
All of a sudden, they're calling them.
I always heard Johnson ran my office.
That little mellow.
Oh, yeah, well, no.
He is really good. I mean, with
Oh, yeah, because he posterized for husbands. Really good.
he's supposed to, he made, yeah, that boy from Atlanta.
Yeah, Anthony Brown. Not Brown. Anthony, something like that.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, kind of here to me, you know, when he he's so raw. He wasn't sure that way. He's very caught on and he starts. Did you watch him play? He's over there with Ron.
No, I didn't mind it.
So he would have. Did you go to that game? He was phenomenal. But like if he got hot,
Me either. I'm not
he
really.
was.
Maybe that's why I
He
have
was
to.
dominating. But he was very aggressive. Yeah, he's so young.
Hey, real quick. So we're about to get started. We got one more person that's setting up. We're about to get started, but I'll talk real brief just for you guys. So we're going to talk about two different incidents here. We're going to talk about Lenox Mall first, or Lenox Square first, and then we'll go to 485. We're putting on the commander over CID. His interview today is going to be geared toward the incident yesterday. So if you have questions about data related to Lenox, some of you have asked about, and things like that, we're not going to be able to, he's not going to be able to answer that while he's up here. So if you have questions like that, please send them to us. So and our focus is mainly going to be on the incident yesterday. All right. So we'll get started as soon as they're ready.
You're not on a deadline, my friend.
He's up here all the time. We're not going to rush it.
Why don't you just shoot that away and then we can get sound?
Everyone ready? Yeah. All right, Deputy Chief Charles Hampton Jr., Commander of the Criminal Investigation Division. So I'm here just to say that we did make an arrest in the shooting that happened outside of Lenox Mall yesterday. We arrested 2 juveniles, 1 female, 1 male. The charges that we took out were armed robbery, criminal attempt of murder, aggravated assault, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, possession of a firearm by a person under 18, and tampering with evidence. This would not have been possible if we had not had our summer plan in place. I know we talked about it last night. We had units, additional units on Sunday, so we were able to provide a very quick response. And even with the realignment of an aggravated assault unit, we were able to get detectives up there quickly. Detectives were able to obtain video from the Apple Store, from Lenox Mall, as well as where the 2 individuals were apprehended at the Westin Hotel. So all of this was able just because of the amount of resources that we had in the city during this space. Right now, the victim is currently in critical but stable condition. We were able to talk with him briefly today, so we're hoping that he will continue to make good progress. But with like anything, it's touch and go. It's just an unfortunate incident that occurred. Because they are juveniles, we can't release and we will not release their names. I can tell you that this is the first time that we know that they have this type of level of violence. We don't believe that for both the male and the female that this is the first encounter with law enforcement. But right now it's our first encounter with the city of Atlanta. But we are working very closely with the Fulton County District Attorney's Office as we move forward to the prosecution of this case. We will release a little bit later. There is a blue vehicle, small blue vehicle, that we would like to see if we can identify the driver of that vehicle to see if they had any level of involvement. So the investigation is nowhere complete. The 2 juvenile suspects did talk to investigators, provided a lot of information. So based on the video, the evidence, and their interviews, we are confident of the charges and their level of involvement. So unless you may have a couple more questions, I'll ask.
So what did they say when you talked to them?
And like I said, I know that's a likely question. I can just let you know, based on their interview, we were able to determine that they were significantly involved in the investigation.
Were both teams armed?
There was only 1 weapon recovered on scene, and if that was not explained yesterday, so we were able to obtain 1 weapon on scene. It appears, based on what we were able to determine, is only 1 individual had a weapon and used it. But like I said, we still are combing video just to make sure. So I just want to assure everyone that although we've made an arrest, the investigation piece is not over. So that's something that we want to make sure to determine.
So only 2 robbery suspects and possibly a getaway driver, or
Yes.
could there be 3 how many suspects do you think are in the case?
Again, we don't know for certain. Like I said, I can tell you that the 2, I know there's, we were told that there is some video that may be out in social media. So the 2 individuals in that video are apprehended. That's who we were able to apprehend very quickly after the incident. We want to see if they got a ride up to Lenox. We need to backtrack to see how they arrived to Lenox. and just to make sure that this is not something a little bit bigger. So we don't know. Our team of investigators with the aggravated assault unit is going to do their due diligence, and I assure you that if there are other individuals that are involved, they too will be held accountable for this crime.
How old are they? How old is they?
15. Both of them are 15. Yes.
And you say you talked to the victim. Do they look like 15-year-olds, as far as you know?
And let's be clear. The victim is still in a hospital, and so we try to be sensitive to that. So we're just trying to shore up some investigative information as far as charging, and so as far as if he really said the suspects were masked. So I'm not sure if he will even be able to say right now how old they look. So I don't want to get into that.
The question was just, did he go like, these are kids doing this? But I get your point.
Okay.
Do we know if any of them ever got into the mall? Or was it only
From our understanding, the mall was closed at 6 p.m. It does not appear that they made entry into the mall. We know that they did try to enter the Apple Store after the shooting, but were unsuccessful at this time.
What's the time frame? The shooting happened at 8:30. How soon did you have those teens in custody?
I probably would say less than 10 minutes.
Wow.
You had them in custody?
We had them detained in less than 10 minutes.
Do you know the origin of the gun? Was this one maybe stolen out of a vehicle like some of these other cases we've heard about?
I don't know the answer right now, but we can find that out.
Can you tell us what they wanted from the guard? You know, in that video you're talking about on social media, you could see them. What did they want from you? You know, security guard at the mall.
So I'm pausing only because this has to be tried in a court of law, and so I don't want to say too much. I believe the end goal was to try to gain access into the Apple Store, and so I think if you are trying to rob and shoot the security guard, there's probably an inference that he may have had keys to get inside the location. So the ultimate goal, what we believe thus far, is that the Apple Store was the target to get inside the store.
Was there any relationship between the two suspects and the security guard, or did they didn't know each other prior?
I'm sorry, between the security guard and the suspects?
Yeah,
it does not appear to be any relationship at all.
When you said that you guys were able to detain them within a few moments, where were you guys able to?
We were able to apprehend them at the lower parking garage of the Westin.
Was there a car waiting for them? Like, was this a part of a bigger thing?
There was no car when we got there. I want to reiterate the response of our units, Zone 2, Apex, a citywide help call went out. So we had officers also respond to the area. We locked that scene down immediately. So there was no avenue of escape. And so if they did have a getaway car, that I think with the presence of officers, the driver of the car decided not to stick around.
I apologize if someone already asked this, but do you have the condition of the?
Yes, he's critical but stable at this time.
Do you know where he was shot?
I do, but I'm not prepared to put it out now.
So were your suspects attempting to hide at the time or elude? What were they doing?
Of course. Again, they were definitely trying to hide their clothing. So they were, as they were running away, discarding items that they were wearing. And again, we were able to recover all that. Our K-9 officers were able to assist us with locating the firearm that was also discarded. So we were able to see a lot through also video. So just being able to see video from the mall as well as the hotel, we had a very good and eyewitnesses. I can't discount the citizens that stuck around even through the chaos to provide us valuable information to actually help us lead to the apprehension of the two juvenile suspects.
Let's wrap this one up. Everybody good? All right.
Thank you.
Give just a moment. Does anybody need to make any changes before we start on the next one?
No.
Okay.
1 second. I know you guys always like the ages. Let me calculate that real quick. My name is Captain Jason Smith, JASON SMITH. So briefly, we're just going to talk about last night. At about 4:46 a.m., officers responded to 85 northbound at Langford for a person shot call. When they arrived, there's a 23-year-old female who had been shot. She was transported to Grady. She is stable. There was also a 24-year-old male involved in the incident who was driving the vehicle when this happened. It appears as though there was a dispute between two vehicles, and that dispute escalated to a gun battle between both vehicles. When police arrived, we did recover a weapon, and the female victim was transported. She is in stable condition as of right now, and it's an ongoing investigation as far as today, moving into today.
Did you guys handcuff anyone at the scene?
I do not know if we handcuffed anybody at the scene. I can look into that.
No arrests have been made in connection with this incident?
No arrests have been made as of right now. That's correct.
You said there was a prior dispute. Can you expound on that a little bit?
We know there was gunfire between two vehicles.
So both cars fired?
Both cars.
And we don't know right now if the person in the second car.
We're still working through the circumstances of what led to this and then how it happened.
Do you have descriptions of the two vehicles involved?
I believe it was a dark-colored SUV, and I'm not sure on the vehicle that was being driven.
Did the dispute start on the highway, or was it something that happened off and it just carried on to the...
We're still working out the details as far as we're back tracing where they came from and where they were going to see what we can learn.
And of course, as you know, we've had a number of these in the metro area, and I guess, once again, the public wants to know what's going on. Have you guys been able to lock down any... What's happening here?
So there has been a few incidents on the highway, and I can tell you that looking through each and every one, each is a unique set of circumstances. They're not related. There are different times of days. There's different descriptions of vehicles that are involved. What I can tell you is it seems to be in most of these, there's a common denominator of some type of road rage, some type of cutting somebody off in the lane, a horn gets honked, somebody may flip the bird, and then things sort of escalate from there. That's been a theme kind of. Now there's been a few of these like last night where we're still working out the details, right? There's a little bit more to the story than what we're, as we move forward through the investigation. But we'd like to remind everybody, especially on the highways, we are in the city of Atlanta. I think we all know Atlanta traffic. We've all been around Atlanta traffic. We know we're going to get frustrated. You guys are going to get frustrated when you leave here. I'm going to get frustrated when I leave. I'm going to get frustrated tomorrow morning on my way in. So are you guys. So we'd like to remind everybody to be a courteous driver. Right? Use your blinker. If somebody cuts you off, it's not the end of the world. Let's just all go on about our day. We don't know what's going on with it. You never know what's going on with that other car, right? So just everybody, let's just relax and know that it's Atlanta traffic and we're going to get through it like we normally do.
Well, we've always had that.
Always.
But now we have guns involved.
Well, it's seeming, if you look at the headlines nationwide, this seems to be a trend everywhere and not just in the city. I think California just recently had some heartbreaking events over on their highways. This has been a nationwide issue as far as the road rage incidents. And yes, we have seen a slight uptick over last year. But again, if you look within those incidents, there are some determining factors that we're looking at.
Can you clarify something? I'm sorry. You said there was a dark-colored SUV.
Yes.
So the dark-colored SUV was the one that the people who were shot were in? I just want to clarify.
So let me look at the report here real quick.
Yeah, take your time.
Just so I get it right too.
Understood.
I don't know what vehicle they were driving. The suspect vehicle is a black Mercedes. I'm not sure what vehicle they were actually driving.
But the white car that was left at the scene, that's the victim's car.
That would be the victim's car. That's correct.
And you say you recovered a gun.
Yes.
Can you say who it belonged to?
The driver was the driver of the vehicle claimed to have owned the weapon.
And had it been fired?
We believe it had been fired, yes.
So
We're
once
su-
again, does he face any charges? Was he
Well, again, we're still working out the circumstances of what happened.
Are there any cameras in the area? I know DOT has some, but do y'all have any in there?
Well, that's what we're going to backtrack to where they were coming from to see what cameras they may have passed on their way to the highway.
Any witnesses?
As of right now, no.
I'm sure you want to talk to witnesses.
Absolutely, absolutely. We encourage anybody with any information on any of these cases or any cases that we ever discussed to call Crime Stoppers with any information that they have.
We good? All right. Thank you all.
That's a bigger question than I even asked on camera. So when are y'all gonna be able to get into the DOT system and be able to record that stuff? How many of these have we had? I mean, there's like the guy that flew on I-20 like 3 years ago, just came out of the
Who all's ready to go?
I will ask you guys that question.
Yeah, because they're not our cameras. I don't want them to have the ability to record.
Maybe they don't, but you guys can record them on Zoom. Right. There's just too many of them. I'm just saying. All right. Do you want me to, I mean, you're both on the same side as me, right? Okay, so I'll just copy it.